was quite a day. Had ourselves an incredibly high-quality breakaway. Danny Martinez here, Esteban Chavez, Guerrero, Kruiswijk, Walter, Barry Bartra, Buckman, Amiral, Baggioli, Knox in the early incarnation, but was to feature again at the end. Hirsch, Dunbar and Van Hoek. And really, it was such a quality group up front, but most notably had Kruiswijk and Attila Walter within it, which meant that the gift was to Jonas Vingegaard. He did not have to engage in the chase, and barring victorious, had no choice other than to go for it. Esteban Chavez was busy trying to make the steal of the final stage. That was great to see. And Landa was running out of lieutenants who was to drive into the gap. And in the end, Brian, he ran out of teammates and had to do it himself. And in the end, the legs weren't quite there.
No, I think it's the same for a lot of teams today. When you get someone like Vingegaard head and shoulders above everybody else, it's always going to be very difficult. They put up a decent enough performance, Pernsteiner being one of them, but they had the help from Cofidis, and I think that the battle behind was for second and third.
We had some spectacular descending today as well as the climbing. They always come hand in hand. Not so technical, but some high pace to them as well, and some great performances within the chase, Brian, that are worth highlighting.
Yeah, I think Jumbo-Visma done a terrific job. Chavez was strong today, really strong, nice to see. But Kruiswijk and Walter getting in the breakaway. Mauro Schmidt, another top performance today. Well, there's a lot of good performances today. It's just that one person, Jonas Vingegaard, was just stronger than anybody else.
Well, arguments within what remained of the breakaway now that Mauro Schmidt had come up to join the fun, the Swiss, and in fact, when he did kick on, he looked magnificent, Brian.
He did, and you know, he struck out alone pretty much. He took another 3 seconds. It was always a big ask for a lot of riders to have movement that were over a minute down. It was always going to come down to seconds, but this was the moment Vingegaard decided, well, I'm going to go alone.
Well, in the company as he was, he'd just met his teammates as they'd dropped back, those who'd been in the break, Attila Walter and Steven Kruiswijk, and in the end, he just decided that he wasn't going to offer up a back wheel to anybody, and he'd had that gift, as we say, of others having to do the chasing. So he had a lot left in the tank when he pushed on, and pushed on he did, on the descent rather dramatically. In the chase were some minor places up for grabs. Jonas Aguirre determined to reach the podium, but it was all going to come down to a bit of a bagatelle. And indeed the drive for home, the bonus seconds therein. James Knox decided that he would give it a go. Needed to find around 10 seconds margin on that group, who are now fracturing. Landa saying he wasn't going to do any chasing, and it was down to everybody else if they wanted a podium place. Top step, of course, going to Jonas Vingegaard, coming across the line. Second on the day for the stage was to be James Knox, but Vingegaard's performance throughout every single stage has been outstanding. 3 stage wins along the way. I thought about celebrating there, the uneven surface, just making sure that he kept it safe. Clock starting to count upon him. James Knox was the second man across the line, but did not have a sufficient distance on an animated chase, who themselves were thinking about that third step on the podium. Higuita thought he'd got it and was complaining about this move from Izagirre, who just nudged over, but in so doing nudged himself onto the podium as well. Landa, who came at the back of that group, and Chavez here crossing the line. Another brave performance by the Colombian, and a fabulous race it turned out to be. Great King of the Mountains man as well. We'll get to that in a moment. Jonas Vingegaard wins by a margin of 1:12. I didn't think it'd be that big in the end, Brian.
No, I didn't. I thought Landa maybe could have gone toe-to-toe, but I think it's just at this level, just, you know, that recovery, Landa still looked okay compared to, you know, the others. Maybe he wasn't on as good a day as he was a couple of days ago. But I think Jonas Vingegaard was just super today. Good legs, and delivered a, you know, hard-hitting punch to everybody else, and everybody else was just challenging for the other podium places. Landa hung on, Zagari won the sprint in the end to get bonuses, and David Godot moves down, but everybody moves up. Valiant effort from James Knox moving into the top 10 as well, but